Hello everyone, welcome to my QuickBooks tutorial. Today I'm going to take you through QuickBooks accounting package. Okay, so let me open my QuickBooks. Now remember I'm using QuickBooks 2010. Now QuickBooks is an accounting package. It is normally used to automate accounting processes, or this used to automate financial information. Okay, so normally when you first open this application, you're supposed to start by creating a new company file. Okay, just close this. So okay, so you go to new, then you say new company. Now we have this, there are two options. You can start interview or you can skip interview, but I recommend that you skip the interview, because if you choose to start interview, you'll be asked a lot of questions. So let me skip interview. Then you're supposed to give a company name here. So let me just create a company file, and let me say computer company, computer hardware and software solutions. Then you're supposed to give legal name, but that is not a must. So whatever it is a must here is company name. Then you can give the address, city, county. So let me just choose country, Kenya. Then I can go to next. Then the next one is, how is your company organized? You can have sole trader, you can have partnership if it is owned by more than one person. Sole trader is if the company is owned by one person. So let me choose sole trader. May I say next? Then select the first month of your financial year. So I'm assuming that the first month of my financial year is January. Let me go to next. Then you're supposed to select your industry. So you select the industry that you think your company belongs to. So mine is a computer hardware and software solution. So I will select a similar industry. You have this one, that is information technology. Now remember, the purpose of this one is that if you select an industry, it will come with some accounts. Like here we have these accounts. Okay, but if your company falls under none of these industries, then you're supposed to select any other. Select this one, any other. But for my case, I'm going to pick information technology. And you go to next. Then you finish. You finish. Then you're supposed to select the location in your computer where your company file is going to be stored. So personally, I'm going to select one of the folders in a desktop. let me place it under this folder, exam, and you save. So you have to wait for some few minutes before your company file is created. So we are done. We've just created our company file. Now let us look at this home. This is home interface. So when you look at this home interface, here we have suppliers. So it means that whatever you are doing here is dealing with suppliers. Then we have the customers here. That means whatever you'll be doing here is dealing with the customers. Then down here we have employees. Now on this other side you also have company, whereby we have chart of accounts. Now chart of accounts is whereby you will find list of all accounts that your company has. Then we have items and services. So basically items and services is whereby you will record what the company is doing with, whether it is in terms of stock, whether it is in terms of services that the company is offering. So here you can add services, here you can add accounts. Then we have banking. Now in banking we can record deposits, we can write checks, current account register. You can also reconcile for yes accounts, and also you can print checks here. Okay, so let us start by creating some of the customers and the suppliers and also employees. So I'm going to create each customer. Then you go to new customer and job, click there, then you add new customer. Okay, so let me add one customer here. Let me add one customer. Let's say our customer is Kevin. For the date I'm going to use the current date. Then we have our opening balance. Opening balance, let me say 100,000. This other information is not a must, but if there's an exam you'll be given some of these details, and then you say okay. So you can see I've added one customer, that is Kevin, and you can see the customer is active. Then the customer has an opening balance of 100,000. It means that the customer owes the company 100,000 in form of an invoice. Now remember, you issue an invoice when the customer is going to pay for the services or the items later on. So this is an invoice. Then I can close this. Now let us add one supplier. Okay, so you go to new supplier. I give name. Let me say Daisy. Then you give the opening balance. Let me say 200,000. The date, I'm going to use the current date. You leave it there like that. Then you say okay. So you can see I've added one supplier. Now the opening balance for this supplier is in form of a bill, and it is negative 200,000. So it means that the supplier, if it is in form of a bill, if it was positive here, then it means that we owe the supplier 200,000. Okay, but because it is negative, it means that the supplier or the company owes the supplier 200,000. Then you can close this. Then we have employees. That has also had one employee. So under employee section, you'll be managing the payroll information, the employee. Let's say new employee. Now for employees, you need to give so many details. Like we have the personal information, we have payroll and compensation information, we have employment information, statutory pay information. So let me just give personal information. Here you go. Sorry, Anthony. And then here you go. Gender male. Date of birth. I was born 1995 March 19th, like that. Marital status, let's say married. So that is personal information. Let me also fill in employment information. Let's say joint date is today. Okay, living date we don't know, so you can say okay. Okay, let us correct this one. Let's say I joined last year. Okay, so one employee has been added. Okay, so you see the one employee has been added. So that is how you can add suppliers, customers and employees. Now next thing, we are going to add some accounts. So let me go to charts of account. Charts of account, then I say a new account. New account. Now let us create a bank account. We say current account. Okay. Then we need to enter opening balance. Let me say the opening balance is 1 million. Statement ending date is today. Then you say okay. You can save and new or save and close. So let me say save and close. So we've created one bank account. Let me also create a account for cash. This normally under bank. Let me say cash account. Opening balance is 2 million. Statement ending date is today. Say okay, save and close. Okay, so we've created two accounts, and you can see so far we have cash and the current account. All of them are of the their bank accounts. Now the next thing we're going to do is to add items and services. Now remember, my company is dealing with computer hardware and software solutions, so I'm going to add some of the hardware in terms of stock. So you go to items and services, or you can come to list. Then you go to item list. So items and services, this way you say new. So I want to add stock, but when you see this list there are no stocks, so I'm going to edit. I'll go to edit, then you go to preferences, then you go to items and stock, then you go to company preferences, then you check this. You enable also units of measure, finish, then you say okay. So let me go back, items and services, new. So you can see we have stock part. So let me say we are dealing with computers. Let's say the cost is 10,000, buying at 10,000 and selling them at 15,000. Okay, so far we don't preferred supplier. You can select this one. Then we have income account, so you need to select sales income account, sales for hardware. On hand, let me say I have 100 pieces. Total value, it will multiply the total value and the cost. Then you say okay. So let me add another one. In this case, stock part, I'm going to add keyboards. Let's say 200. I'm selling them at 250. Again, you select sales hardware. Then we have, let me say I have 1,000 pieces of the same. And you say okay. So that is how you can add stock. Okay, now the next thing we are going to look at transactions. I want us to look at transactions now. So we have two types of transactions here. We can either buy or sell. So we can buy or we can sell. Now let us start with buying. That means we are buying from the suppliers. So there are two ways of buying from suppliers. We can buy on credit, that is if we are going to pay the supplier later on, or we can buy and pay the supplier instantly. So if you buy and pay instantly, you enter bill and then you pay the bill. But if you are buying on credit, just enter bill and the bill will be paid later on. So let us let's say we are buying and pay directly. So we'll enter bills, supplier, let's say from this. Then you need to select the item that you are buying. Let me say I want to add computer. Okay, let's say I want to buy 3. Then you can save. So this is a bill. Save and close. Now we find out the bill, but we've not paid. So you go to pay bills. Okay, so I'm going to pay this 30,000. Now I want to pay using the current bank account. Okay, then you say pay selected bills. Okay, so we are done. Now if you want to buy on credit, we just send our bills. So let us buy on credit from the same supplier. And now I come to items. Today I'm going to buy keyboards. Let me buy 3 of them also. Then you save and close. So you can see the bill is still pending. It will be paid later on. Okay. Then we have now selling. Selling, now we deal with customers. So there are 2 ways of selling also. You can sell on credit, that is if the customer is going to pay later on, or you can sell and the customer pays instantly. So let us start with whereby the customer pays instantly. So what we do, we create sales receipts, then we record deposits. So create sales receipt. Let me select customer Kevin. I want to sell 3 computers. Okay, then I need to specify the payment method. He is going to pay me with cash. Save and close. So after creating sales receipts, you need to record deposits. Okay, so I'm going to record it in cash account. Okay, so you select this one, then you pay. You say okay, you record. Save and so you need to specify the this will be deposited in cash account because the payment method was cash. Save and close. So you can check and see the the cash account. You see there is an increment of 45,000 because the deposits have been recorded. Then the second way of selling is by issuing an invoice. That is if the customer is going to pay later on. So you go to invoices, create invoice. I'm going to sell the same customer. This time around I'm selling a keyboard. Let me sell 3 of them. So that is how the invoice is. Okay, then you can save and close. Now the next thing that we are going to do is to create reports. Now remember, in QuickBooks you just feed in transactions, but the reports will be generated automatically. So I'll go to reports. Let's go to account and taxes. Let's say I want to create you can create trial balance, can read adjusted trial balance, but me I want to generate a balance sheet. So for balance sheet we normally use UK standard balance sheet. So this is the balance sheet. It will be generated automatically. Okay, so you can see the summary of transactions. Now you can also generate what we call profit and loss standard. So you can see the company is making a loss of negatively 4,850. So in our next tutorial we are going to go through some questions. Remember, this was just an introduction of QuickBooks. So thank you very much for participating in my lesson. See you in our next tutorial.